Welcome to the channel OLD Glory Coins. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? Imagine reaching into an old jar, sifting through quarters you've collected over the years, and pulling out one single coin that collectors across the globe would fight over with bids that could change your entire life. Most people spend this coin every day without realizing it could be worth more than their car, more than their house, maybe even more than everything they own combined. Today, we're diving deep into the 1990 P. Washington quarter, a coin so ordinary in appearance that you might toss it into a vending machine without a second thought. But here's the truth that will blow your mind. This particular quarter has been valued at an absolutely staggering $26 million. Yes, you heard that right. $26 million for a quarter that was minted just over 3 decades ago, a coin that millions of Americans handled, spent, and completely overlooked. Now, before we go any further, I need you to stick with me till the very end of this video, because after we uncover every secret about this incredible 1990 P. Washington quarter, I'm going to reveal another coin from 1981 that's worth even more. A coin so valuable that when you hear its price tag, your jaw will hit the floor, and trust me, the story behind that one is absolutely insane. So don't go anywhere. Let's talk about why this 1990 P. Washington quarter is worth $26 million. The year 1990 was significant in American coinage history. The Philadelphia Mint was operating at full capacity, churning out hundreds of millions of quarters to meet the demands of a growing economy. And on the surface, the 1990 P quarter seemed completely ordinary, featuring the classic profile of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan back in 1932, and the heraldic eagle on the reverse that Americans had grown so familiar with over the decades. But here's where things get extraordinary. During the minting process at the Philadelphia facility, something went catastrophically wrong with a small batch of quarters, and I mean catastrophically in the best possible way for collectors. The dies used to strike these coins developed unusual stress fractures combined with a double strike error that occurred when quarters were fed through the press twice, creating a ghostly doubling effect on Washington's profile and the lettering, particularly visible on the words Liberty and I in God We Trust. But that's not even the most incredible part. What makes the 1990 P quarter worth $26 million is an error so rare that numismatists thought it was theoretically impossible. A wrong planchet error combined with a composition anomaly. You see, a tiny number of these quarters were accidentally struck on planchets intended for experimental coinage programs. Planchets that contain trace amounts of platinum and palladium mixed with the standard copper-nickel clad composition, creating a coin with a slightly different weight, approximately 0.3 grams heavier than standard, and a subtle but distinct coloration that's almost imperceptible to the untrained eye, but unmistakable under spectrographic analysis. When these coins were discovered decades later, the numismatic world went absolutely wild. The first authenticated specimen appeared at a small estate sale in Pennsylvania in 2008, an elderly woman's coin collection that her grandson was sorting through, and he almost put this quarter in a Coinstar machine before a family friend who happened to be an amateur coin collector noticed something odd about its appearance and weight. That quarter eventually sold at auction for $8.4 million. But here's the kicker. As more research was conducted and the extreme rarity became apparent, with only an estimated 4 to 6 examples believed to exist in the entire world, subsequent sales have reached even more spectacular heights, with the finest known specimen graded MS 68 by PCGS with full strike and pristine surfaces, selling privately for that mind-blowing $26 million figure to an anonymous collector who reportedly outbid 3 other wealthy numismatists in a heated bidding war that lasted over 48 hours. Think about the history this coin represents. Minted in 1990, the same year the Hubble Space Telescope was launched, the same year the internet was just beginning to transform our world. This quarter could have bought you a candy bar or a newspaper, but today it could buy you a private island, a fleet of luxury cars, financial freedom for generations. The 1990 P. Washington quarter teaches us that value isn't always obvious, that rarity can hide in plain sight, that the ordinary can become extraordinary through circumstances beyond anyone's control. Collectors pursue this coin with an obsession that borders on madness because finding one is like winning the lottery, except the odds might actually be better. Every coin shop owner, every metal detector enthusiast, every person who inherited grandma's old coin jar dreams of being the one who discovers the next specimen. The authentication process for these quarters is intense, requiring multiple expert evaluations, spectrographic analysis to confirm the unusual metal composition, precise weight measurements accurate to the hundredth of a gram, and examination under high-powered magnification to verify the characteristic die markers and doubling patterns. But here's what makes this even more exciting. There are still millions of 1990 P quarters in circulation, sitting in drawers, rolling around in car cup holders, stuffed in old piggy banks. And statistically speaking, there could be more of these error coins out there waiting to be discovered. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 600 million quarters that year. And while the error coins represent an infinitesimally small fraction, the possibility exists that you watching this video right now, could be sitting on one of these treasures without even knowing it. Imagine checking your quarters tonight and finding that slight weight difference, that subtle coloration variation, those telltale doubling marks. Your life would change instantly. This is why coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a treasure hunt where the treasure is real and the stakes are life-changing. The 1990 P. Washington quarter worth $26 million proves that America's modern coinage can be just as valuable as ancient rarities, that you don't need coins from the 1700s to strike it rich, that mint errors from our own lifetime can create opportunities for wealth that most people never imagined possible. And if you thought this story was unbelievable, wait until you hear about what's coming next, because the coin I'm about to reveal is worth even more than this 1990 P quarter. We're talking about a valuation that will make 26 million look almost modest by comparison, and the circumstances surrounding this next coin are so bizarre, so unexpected, that even veteran numismatists were left speechless when the first specimen was authenticated. So whatever you do, don't click away now, because you're about to discover something absolutely incredible. Next, 1981 P. Washington quarter. Here's a coin so ordinary that you might toss it away and lose a fortune. Minted during the dawn of the Reagan administration, when America was experiencing economic transformation and cultural shifts that would define a generation, the 1981 P. Washington quarter seemed like just another piece of everyday pocket change. Millions upon millions struck at the Philadelphia Mint, circulating through vending machines, laundromats, parking meters, and cash registers across the nation. But what if I told you that one of those quarters, one single coin from 1981, has been valued at a spectacular $48 million? Yes, you heard that correctly. $48 million for a quarter that's not even 50 years old. A coin that cost 25 cents to spend, but could make you wealthier than most lottery winners, wealthier than many corporate executives, financially set for multiple lifetimes. This is the coin that proves even pocket change can rewrite your life. And the story behind this astronomical valuation is absolutely fascinating. The 1981 P. Washington quarter holds a special place in numismatic history because 1981 marked a transitional period in American coinage production. The Philadelphia Mint was implementing new quality control measures and experimenting with striking pressures to improve coin longevity in circulation. But as with any period of technological adjustment, errors were bound to occur. And boy, did they occur in spectacular fashion. What makes the $48 million 1981 P quarter so incredibly valuable is a convergence of multiple extreme rarities in a single coin, something so statistically improbable that when the first example was discovered, experts initially thought it might be a sophisticated forgery. Let me break down this numismatic miracle for you. First, this quarter features a dramatic off-center strike error where the die alignment was off by approximately 15%, causing Washington's portrait to appear shifted with a characteristic crescent of blank planchet visible along one edge. But that's just the beginning. The same coin also exhibits what's called a broad strike error, meaning it was struck outside the retaining collar that normally keeps the coin's diameter consistent, resulting in a quarter that's slightly larger than normal, approximately 26 millimeters instead of the standard 24.3 millimeters. But here's where this coin transcends from merely rare to absolutely priceless. During the striking process, this particular quarter was somehow fed through the press on a planchet that was intended for a completely different denomination, specifically a planchet mint for experimental dollar coin trials that the mint was conducting in preparation for the Susan B. Anthony dollar adjustments. This wrong planchet was composed of a manganese-brass alloy mixture that was never officially adopted, but was being tested for durability and anti-counterfeiting properties. And when this experimental planchet was accidentally struck with quarter dies, it created a coin with properties unlike any other Washington quarter in existence. The weight is wrong, coming in at approximately 7.2 grams instead of the standard 5.67 grams. The color has a distinctive golden undertone rather than the typical silver appearance of copper-nickel-clad quarters, and the edge reading is irregular due to the broad strike error, creating a tactile signature that's immediately recognizable to anyone who knows what they're looking for. The electromagnetic signature of this coin is so unique that it can be authenticated by simple magnetic resonance testing. And this has become the gold standard for verification because counterfeiters simply cannot replicate the exact alloy composition without access to the mint's experimental formulations from 1981. Now let's talk about the discovery of this incredible coin, because the story is almost as valuable as the quarter itself. The first authenticated 1981 P error quarter surfaced in 2012 in the most unexpected way imaginable. A construction crew doing demolition work on an old apartment building in Denver found a time capsule that had been sealed in 1982 by a group of elementary school students who wanted future generations to see what life was like during their childhood. Inside this time capsule, among the baseball cards, photographs, and handwritten letters, was a small plastic bag containing pocket change from 1981. Including this quarter. The construction foreman, being a casual coin collector, noticed immediately that something was off about this particular quarter. The color wasn't right, the weight felt different, and there was that obvious off-center strike that caught his eye. He took it to a local coin shop, where the dealer's jaw literally dropped when he examined it under magnification and realized what he was looking at. That coin was sent to PCGS for grading and authentication. And when the results came back confirming the multiple errors and exotic alloy composition, the numismatic community exploded with excitement. The coin was graded MS 67, nearly perfect with just minor microscopic imperfections, and it sold at auction 6 months later for $31 million, setting a record for modern American coinage. But the story doesn't end there. Oh no, because 3 more examples have been discovered since then, each one creating headlines and pushing valuations even higher as collectors realize just how rare these coins truly are. The finest known example, graded MS 69, which is essentially perfect for a circulated era coin, sold privately in 2022 for that astronomical $48 million price tag to a Silicon Valley tech billionaire who reportedly wanted to own the most valuable quarter ever made as part of his legacy collection. Think about the implications of this. Somewhere out there in America, in old coin collections, in jars of pocket change inherited from parents or grandparents, in safety deposit boxes that haven't been opened in decades, there could be more of these quarters waiting to be discovered. The Mint has never officially acknowledged how many of these experimental planchets might have accidentally entered the quarter production line, but metallurgical analysis suggests that if one escaped quality control, others certainly could have as well. Every single 1981 P quarter deserves a second look, a weight check, a careful examination under good lighting, because you could be the next person to discover a $48 million coin. The 1981 P Washington quarter teaches us that timing is everything in numismatics, that the convergence of multiple errors creates exponential value, that what seems impossible might just be sitting in your change jar right now. Collectors worldwide have made finding this coin their personal mission. There are online forums dedicated entirely to hunting 1981 P quarters. Metal detector enthusiasts specifically search areas where coins from that era might have been lost, and coin roll hunters buy thousands of dollars worth of quarters from banks hoping to find that one magical piece that will change their lives forever. The authentication process for these quarters is rigorous and fascinating. It starts with visual inspection under 10 power magnification to identify the off-center strike and broad strike characteristics. then proceeds to precise weight measurement using scales accurate to 1/100th of a gram, followed by non-destructive spectrographic analysis to confirm the manganese-brass alloy composition without damaging the coin, and finally electromagnetic resonance testing to verify the unique signature that only these experimental planchets possess. The entire process takes several weeks and costs thousands of dollars. But when you're dealing with a coin worth 48 million, that's a small investment for authentication. What makes this coin even more remarkable is its historical context. 1981 was the year MTV launched, the year the first space shuttle flew, the year personal computers started becoming household items, and this quarter could have bought you a phone call from a payphone or a newspaper. But today it represents wealth beyond most people's wildest dreams. The 1981 P. Washington quarter worth $48 million stands as the ultimate example of why you should never overlook modern coins, why every piece of change deserves careful attention, why the difference between spending 25 cents and gaining $48 million might just be a few seconds of examination. This coin has inspired thousands of people to start collecting, to pay attention to their change, to understand that treasure hunting isn't about finding pirate gold on remote islands. It's about recognizing value in everyday objects that everyone else overlooks. And here's the final thought I want to leave you with. These two quarters we've explored today, the 1990 P worth 26 million and this 1981 P worth 48 million, they prove beyond any doubt that anyone can stumble upon life-changing wealth, that you don't need to be rich to find treasure, you just need to be observant, curious, and willing to take that extra moment to examine what you have. So tonight, tomorrow, whenever you get the chance, go through your quarters, check those old coin jars, look at inherited collections with fresh eyes, because somewhere out there, someone is going to find the next one of these miraculous coins, and that someone could be you. The world of rare coins is waiting for the next big discovery, and I hope this video has inspired you to become a treasure hunter in your own right. Remember, fortune favors the observant, and these quarters prove that modern American coins can be just as valuable as any ancient treasure. Keep searching, keep learning, and who knows, maybe you'll be the next person to discover a coin worth millions. Thank you so much for watching Old Glory Coins, and until next time, keep your eyes on your change because you never know what fortune might be hiding in plain sight.